This is AJ again. Welcome to AJ's Cozy Crochet Corner. So today we are making stockings. We're making adult size stockings that are universal. So you can make this for any size. And we'll be putting the lacy little trim around the top. So I do have a children's video which has a ridge top. So if you are making it for a child and you want to do the ridge top, or if you're making it for you and you would like the ridge top around, so check out that video as well. So for this one, we just need to take two measurements in order to make this for any person. So we're going to start with, where do you want yours to stop? Yeah. So we're looking at around here that we're going to stop. So you want to go where you want it to stop, and then you want to go to the ankle. Okay. So between stop and ankle, we have 24 inches. So it's going to, we're making footies to go with these. So you're only going to go to your ankle, because we will be making a footy that will come up to the ankle point, and you'll just stop right there where you want it to stop. So from ankle to here. So we have 24. And then the other measurement you have to take, you have to go around the thigh where you want it to stop and take that measurement. Now I have a measurement of 13 for you. It's about right. That's all we have to do. So after that, we're going to go to the table and we're going to sit down with our measurements and we're going to make us a stocking. Okay. And so the only thing you will need is your measuring tape, your measurements, some scissors, and I'm using size 4 yarn. So you can use it, make this in any size yarn that you want. But I'm going to show you how I make mine because I want it to be a little thick. It's a little cold outside. So with that being said, let's get to the table. Hi everybody, and welcome to Asia's Cozy Crochet Corner. So today we're going to be making the knee-high stockings that you saw. And this is the secret to my knee-high stockings. My increase decrease row, which gives a natural decrease to the bottom of your stocking, and it'll help to make it more fitted so your bottom is not bulky, because you don't have to make your bottom as big as your top so it can fit around your thigh. So this little thing right here is just perfect. And with this, a measuring tape and a 4.5 millimeter hook, we can create any size knee-high stockings. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so now we have our measurements, and our measurement for her leg length was 24, and the width around her leg was 13. And that goes for anybody. So depending on whatever your length is from your ankle all the way up to where you want your knee high, above the knee, or if you don't want it above the knee, wherever you want yours to go, you're just going to chain up that length. So let us start there. So our length was 24. I've already pre-made this one. That gives me a chain of 80. Oh, wait. There we go. So that gave me a chain of 80, and that hits my 24 mark. So on our foundation chain, we want to 1, 2, 3, and the fourth hole from the hook, you want to make a double. No matter what your length is, you want to start and do exactly what I'm doing. You want to make doubles all the way down this chain. So we're just making double crochets all the way down this chain. Now I am using Heather Gray Red Heart Super Saver Jumbo, which is worsted weight size 4 yarn. You can use any type of yarn that you want to. Now we are using a 4 4.5 millimeter hook. I must state that. So everything is being worked with a 4.5 millimeter hook, and I've made these in all sizes. I always use the same size hook. I have used different types of yarn, so you can it depends on how thick you want yours. It is winter and it's kind of chilly outside, so I'm using this kind of yarn because my girls love these to wear with their school skirts and throw them on with their boots, and they just look great. And like I said, with my increase decrease row, which we'll get to, and right after this row, it makes it look like real stockings. So we have the look where at the ankle it is smaller and it goes up to a wider portion for your thigh. So no matter what size you're making this for, you're going to find that this pattern is universal. All you need to do is measure those two things and you'll get a perfectly fit stocking / leg warmer every single time. So I'm going to work all the way down here to the end, and then I'm going to teach you this increase decrease. So now I'm coming into my last hole. We have right here our first row. So we're always going to begin on a double crochet row. So you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. Okay? So now we're going to begin this increase decrease. So for the first 10 stitches, we're going to do single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And for the next 10 rows after that, we're going to do double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 9 and 10. So you can already start to see how the 10 singles doesn't add much to the doubles. And then you have your 10 doubles, which gives it a little extra weight to it, length, width to it. But now we're going to do treble stitches. So if you don't know how to do treble stitches, you're going to yarn over 2 times, place it inside the hole, and take off 2, and take off 2 again, and take off 2 again. So yarn over 2 times, hole, take off 2, take off 2 again, and take off 2. Yarn over 2 times, put it through the hole, take off 2, take off 2 more, take off 2 more. Yarn over 2 times, put it through the hole, take off 2, take off 2 again, and take off 2. Now you're going to do trebles all the way the rest of the way. So no matter what size you are doing, you will always begin that row like that. 10 singles, 10 doubles, and then complete your row with treble stitches. So you're going to treble stitch all the way into the end of this row. Okay, we are coming up on the end of our row. And I want to come in because I do not want you to forget this one stitch right here. At the end is where we started. There we go. So we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. And you can see right off the bat how this is not as wide as this. So this is where your calf muscle starts to come in and your thigh. And we're going to go on to our next row. Is just going to be a row of double crochets. So you're just going to double crochet all the way down this row. Now I'm coming up to the end of the double crochet row. Now we're going to do an increase, decrease row again. So we are going to, we're going to go into this one, almost missed a stitch. Okay, so we're going to chain 1. Now remember, we're doing 10 single crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we're going to do 10 doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now we're going to complete our row with treble stitches. So we're going to treble stitch all the way to the end of this row. Alright, I'm coming up on the end of this one. Let's see. never forget to make your last stitch. Like on almost didn't. You're going to chain 1, turn your work, and now you're going to do a row of double crochets all the way down. So as you see, all we're doing is alternating the increase decrease row, and we are, and I call it an increase decrease row. To be honest with you, we're not making any decreases. It decreases the amount of stitches that we have going along the bottom. So it's like an automatic decrease in the bottom. And we hold it out so you can kind of see yet again how it is making, how it's coming out. So you're going to put the double crochets, but you're just alternating double crochets, increase decrease row, double crochets, increase decrease row, all until you get to the desired width. So you take the measurement that you got going around your leg, and that is going to be your width. My width, I measured 13 around her leg, so once I get to 13 inches, I will stop. Now, as many times as I have done this, we begin on a double crochet row. I like to end on an increase decrease row, so when we sew these up the seam, it looks seamless. If you have to end on a double crochet row in order to get the width that you want, that's not a problem, because all of that will be in the back. That's the back of your seam anyway. But I usually always wind up ending on my increase decrease row, so it's continuous all the way around with that pattern. Double crochet row, increase decrease row, double crochet row, increase decrease row. I usually don't have any same rows next to each other. That's not to say that you won't. I haven't done this for all sizes, because there are so many different sizes depending on the width of your leg around whomever you're making it for. So if it ends on a row of double crochets, no worries. It'll still look great. So again, like I said, we're going to go all the way down to the end of this row, and we're going to start all over again, making our increase decrease row, which is 10 singles, 10 double crochets, and all the way, finish it all the way out with treble stitches. Okay, I think you pretty much got the idea of it. Keep on working that out and till you get to the length that it is you're creating for. And let's see what we have when I get to my length of 13. Okay, everybody, I am back, and as you see, I have gotten to where I needed to be, which is 13 inches across. I have not took off my yarn, and this is what it looks like at the bottom. And as you see, I started with a row of double crochet and I ended with the increase decrease row. And this is how it looks at the bottom. So this is what your piece should look like when you're done. Now we're just going to take and fold it over. Let's get our needle. And I haven't took it off my yarn. I chained up one when I was finished. Now we're going to go right into the first hole here, and then we're going to look on the back end and we're going to go at the top of this double crochet. And wait, I haven't gotten it yet. All right, and we're going to bring it through. Oh, why won't it come through? It's fighting. Oh, really was fighting. Hold up. We're going through here, and maybe I had my yarn bunched up. No, it still wants to fight. We're going to take our yarn and go through the top here and go through the top of our first double crochet, and we're going to pull it through, and we'll slip stitch. Okay, and pull tight. So you're going to go through your second one here and your second double crochet in the back and slip stitch. And we're just going to match them up all the way down the line to connect it and slip stitch. Okay, so we're going to go in this hole and find the next one in the back and slip stitch. Try not to miss any of the holes, because then you'll get to the bottom and it won't even up. And slip stitch front and back, and slip stitch and slip stitch and slip stitch. So we're going to do this all the way down the line, and I'll meet you back here once you've completed it. Alright, so I am almost to my end. Slip stitching on down the line. And my last stitch, I don't want to lose it here and here. And that is it. So you want to cut off a good portion and just pull that right through, and that is it. We have one leg complete. Stretching that out a bit. One leg complete, and there you go. So now we have to build the shoe part for it, or the sock part for it. We want to leave this on the wrong side because we will be attaching our sock portions on the wrong side. So I'm going to show you how to make that. Let's tuck this away to the side. Okay, so we're going to get started making our foot. So to start, I'm still using a 4.5 millimeter hook. Still using a 4.5 millimeter hook. We're going to make a magic ring. So in order to make a magic ring, you're going to wrap that around your finger. You're going to grab that yarn off of your finger and put that end string through the hole. And if you hold it up like this, it looks like a knot that you haven't completed. Into this hole, you're going to put your needle, your hook, I'm sorry. I'm going to come through and I'm just going to make one chain. 3. Okay, so I've chained 3. That counts as a double. I'm going to go back into the hole and I'm going to place another double crochet. Altogether, we're making 10 double crochets in this hole. So I have 3 now, 4, 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, 9, and 10. And now that I have my 10 double crochets, I'm going to pull this tight. Pull it tight. Don't be scared to pull it tight. And you see that closed the hole, okay? So I want to slip stitch into the first chain 3 that I did at the top. I'm going to put that around there so I can close that off as well. Carry that with me. Make a slip stitch. I'm going to chain up 3. 1, 2, 3. So I have 10 here. I want to go in each top of these 2 times. So where this chain of 3, that's a double, counts as a double, I'm going to go right back into that hole and make another double crochet. Okay, so we're putting 2 double crochets in each hole. So I'm going to go to the next one, and I'm going to put 2 double crochets into that hole. And the next hole, I'm going to put 2 double crochets into that hole. And the next hole. And before I lose this end completely, I'm going to pull on it one more time. Make sure that hole is completely closed. And I'm going to work 2 into the next hole, 2 into the next hole, and another 2 into this hole. Another 2, and another 2, and let's count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and our last hole here, 20. So the 10 turned into 20 by putting 2 in each hole. Now we're going to slip stitch back into that chain 3 we started with, and we're going to make another chain 3, which counts as a double. So into this first stitch with the chain 3, we want to place another double, and now to the next stitch we want to place 1 double crochet. And our next stitch we will place 2 double crochets, and the next stitch we will place 1. So we will do that all the way around. 2, 1, 2, 1. So this one is 2, and our next one is 1, and our next one is 2, and our next one is 1, and our next one is 2, and 1, two, and 1. 2, and 1, and 2, and 1, and 2, and 2, and 1. You're going to end by slip stitching to the top of the chain 3 that we started with, and that is the little toe tip part of our sock. Okay, so now you should have 30 all the way around. This one started at 10. We put 2 doubles in every stitch, so that gave us 20 on this round. We put 2 doubles in the first stitch, 1 in the next stitch, and so forth and so on the same way. 2 1 2 1 2 1. So that should have gave us 30. Okay, now we're going to chain up 1 2 and 3. Okay, so now we're just going to put in each stitch in this first one, this chain here, this chain of 3 counts for that first stitch. So in the next one, we're going to put 1 double crochet. And we're going to put 1 double crochet in every stitch around, keeping with 30 stitches. So we should have 30 stitches at the end of this round as well. Okay, when you get to the end, you're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 that you started with, and chain up 3. So by now you see we have 1, the row we started out with, the circle, 2, 3, 4 rows. Okay, now I want to show you something because this is a size altering thing. So you see here we have this is the finished product. So you have the one you started out with, the circle, 1 2 3 4, and this is where we are right now. So if you're going to make one this size, you need to do 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 more rows in the same way in which we did the last row. Okay, if you are making a size 8 or 9, then you need to place 1 extra row, so you'll be making 8. Okay, so we're at row 4 right now. If you want to make a size 6 or a 7 shoe size, you will make 7 more rows. If you are making a size 8 or a 9, you would just increase that by 1 row and making 8. So I'm going to take the measurement on this so you can have an idea. The total length of the bottom is 7.5 inches. So since it's 7.5 inches, maybe that will help you as well to decide which size you want to make, what adjustment you need to make if you are outside of those sizes. Okay, so I am making this for a size 7 shoe, so I'm going to make 7 rows. Again, if you're making it for 8 or a 9, I would make 8 more rows. So I'm going to make my 7 rows, more rows, and I will come back to you as soon as I'm finished, and we'll move on to the next portion of the sock. Alright, I am coming up to the end of the 7 more rows that I had to put on. And at the end of it, I'm going to slip stitch right in the top of the chain 3. And I'm going to cut my yarn. And I'm just going to pull that through. So this, I've considered the underneath, this part will be underneath the foot. This would be the top, the part where the joints are not. So the joints are gonna go up below. So I want you to count 10 stitches from your midpoint. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 would be here. And place your hook inside. You want to now and add more yarn on. Okay. Now we're going to make one single crochet in the next 21 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring this in the back so I can work over that. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. Okay, so that's 21 stitches. Now I want you to chain 1, turn your work, and work right back into that same stitch, making 21 yet again across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. Now you're going to chain up 1, turn your work back the other way, and we're going to do this for 9 rows. So we already have our first 2 rows. We now must do this for 7 more rows. So when you're done, you should have a total of 9 rows of 21 single crochet going back and forth across, okay? So when you get to the end of your 9th row, I'll see you back here. And make sure you keep count. You should have 21 on each row. Okay, I have now worked back and forth. I have my 9 rows. When you come to the last one, you are going to cut your yarn off. And just pull through and pull out. Set. So now, I want you to count in 8 rows. I mean 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And in the 8th one, I want you to place your hook. Okay. Now, just to make sure this is accurate, from your 8th one, you should have on your 8th 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then another 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, this is important. This is where we worked our heel. Now, the heel is what kept me from making socks for a very, very long time. It always seemed to be I just didn't understand it. I couldn't get it. But now we're going to attach our yarn on here and we're going to get it. So to make our heel, you're going to go in that hole once you attach your yarn, and you're going to make 1 single crochet. And you're going to do so in 7 stitches over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. So now that we're basically in the middle. We should have 7 stitches over here, 7 stitches over here, and we have 7 stitches in the middle. So once you get to this last one right here, I want you to slip stitch into the next 2 stitches. So you're going to go in the next hole, grab your yarn, and just slip stitch. And into the next hole, grab your yarn and just slip stitch. Now you made 2 slip stitches. Turn your work and into you're working back across into the 7. So go into the first one of the 7 that you just made, and you're going to make a double crochet. So you're skipping back over the 2 slip stitches and you're going back into this 7. We will be working back and forth on this 7 constantly. Okay, so you made your single crochet into the first or the second, pull your yarn to close whatever gap is there, pull your yarn, and then that's 1 single crochet. We're going to work 7 across. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, let's get in there, 7. Okay, so now we're going to slip stitch into the next 2 stitches again. So grab our yarn, pull through, and slip stitch here, and go through the next hole, grab our yarn, and slip stitch yet again. Turning our work now, we're going to work back across this 7. So we're going to find the first one in the 7 and make 1 single crochet, pulling to close that gap right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now, skipping the ones that you have already worked in, we will not be going back into any of those slip stitches. You can see that one is worked in. So you're going to find the next 2 and slip stitch into those. So 1 slip stitch and 2 slip stitch, and turn your work. You will now go back into the 7 in which we started with and work 1 single crochet across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now again, not working in this one, you already worked in there. You will find the next two spaces which you have not worked in and slip stitch into those. So we go 1 and 2. Then we turn our work. Now we're going to single crochet back along with our 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now you're going to find the next one. This one has been worked into. You're going to find the next two that have not been worked in, and you're going to slip stitch into those. 1, and the next one, 2. Turn your work, and you're going to work right back into your 7. And if you ever have a hard time finding what your 7 is, you start from where you can tell. If you can tell on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You pull down, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now you're going to slip stitch into 2 over here that have not been worked into. So that's 1, and the next one, 2. Turn your work yet again, and you're going to go right back into the first of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now you only have one unworked in space. That's here. And you're going to grab your yarn and slip stitch. Turn your work. Let's see if we can catch this down as we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now you have one space yet to be slip stitched into here. So you're going to go in there, grab your work, slip stitch into there, and turn it. Okay? And that is it. And now you see that's how your heel turns out. Okay, so we finished that now, that portion of it. So now we just have to go around one time. So I want you to chain 1 and turn your work. So you should have the heel facing you. And I want you to go 1 in each stitch around. And I'll help you with that because on the sides we don't have actual stitches, where in the front and in the back we do. So we need to be at 35 by the time we get all the way back around. So it's sometimes because you have no real stitches over here, it can be a little tricky, and sometimes you have to pull it out, but I'll show you how I do it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, because we know we have 7 stitches for our hill, right? 7. So we're going to go in, starting in the front here. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So if we're at 26 and we're doing great. Okay, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. That's exactly where I want to be, at 33. So now that we hit our 33, the only thing we have to do now is go around this 4 more times. So we're not, we're now going to work what's called in the rounds, where we will not be building up. So we'll just go into the next stitch and just keep going all the way around. So if you have reached your 33 mark, then just keep going all the way around. You should be building 5 single crochet rows, and that is it. If you have went around and you hit 35 or any other number, then you want to decrease in the corners of your hill. That would help. Or just go back out, take it out again, and until you reach that point. But if you're having a hard time reaching it, you can decrease in this second row till you get to 33. I didn't think I was going to get it on the first try, and I just lucked up and did so. So once you have 33, you're just going to make 4 more single crochet rows all the way around, and that is it. And then we'll come back and we'll attach it. So now I've come back around to where I started, and you can count the rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you see we have 5 single crochets, and that was just going around until we got back to where we started. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So because we're working in the round, I want you to cut off your yarn at a good point. The very next hole, I want you to go through it, grab your yarn, and make like you're going to slip stitch into the next one and pull it out, okay? And pull that down. And that right there is your little sock for your stockings, okay? So we are going to immediately turn this on the wrong side. And we're going to get this thing sewed on. So I do have my darning needle. I'm going to tapestry needle, and I do have 4 pins because that's all I need. So we're going to take this piece again, and our leg piece should be on the wrong side as well. Now I want you to take your leg piece and I want you to open it up so the seam is up in the air just as mine is. So the seam and the heel should match up. Well, we're going to make them match up is what we're going to do. So you can slightly flip this up like that, okay? Almost cuff it a little bit because we're going to pair them together like this. So I have all gray. I hope you can see this well from where you are. So this is the heel from here to here. I want to try to line up my seam with as much as close to the middle of that as possible. So here is my seam right here. And I'm going to say right there would be the middle for me. And you just want to stick a pin in it, hold that in place, okay? Now we're going to work in the front, so turn your piece all the way over. And this is my very front. I just want to make sure I pin this on there good as well. So I don't want anything shifting as I go around. And I'm going to pin the side too. And that's why I told you to cut this up almost in a scoop because it makes it really easy. It just sits right in there. You almost don't have to think about it at all. And turn it again to this side. And just stick a pin here. And that's it. So we're going to start sewing from the back. So I'm going to grab some yarn here. I know this one has a little, no, it's fine. So we're going to grab our yarn, our tapestry needle, yarn needle, whatever you call it, and going to add some yarn. So we want a good amount. We're not going to need too much, but I don't want to run out because I do tend to double back to make sure I get everything. So we're not doing 2 strands. We're just working with 1 strand. Make sure my knot is good enough that it will not come off. And we're going to get, wait, okay. This is the seam again. So this is the heel. And I'm just going to pick a place. And with the footing, I'm just going through the top loops of the footing. I'm not sewing anywhere down here. If you notice, you have that top row of singles that you just got finished doing. That is what I'm working in on that end. On this end, I am working the edge piece, okay? But I always want to grab yarn on the opposite end. So I am going to super attach this by just putting a little loop there. And a knot. Now I'm going to start crocheting down. Now you're just going to sew it on like you would sew anything else. I'm going to jump ship, and you see how we had the singles here. Like I said, I'm working inside the singles. I skip 1. So I go from this single, skip 1, and this single. Okay? And then I go back in the single that I skipped. Making sure I have something here. And then I go over to the next one. So just jumping back and forth every once in a while. Doubling back. So I may go forward for a little bit and do the same thing. Skip over. Now I'm going to go back in the one that I have not worked into and come around to the next one. Removing the pins as I go. So you sew yours in the best way you see fit. Like I said, I go through. There's not a lot to sew in. I'm going to skip one of the singles on. Oh, that happens. No worries. Just slip that back on. So I skip one. Now I'm going to double back to the one that I skipped right here and jump forward to the next hole. And like I said, every once in a while, I want to double back. I don't want my tension to be too tight. I don't want to be too loose, but I do not want my tension to be too tight. You just want to place it and go. Always making sure that you are grabbing in the back. Do not miss your back, because then when you flip it on the right side, you'll have a gap. Don't want a gap. And you always want to double back some, because if you go straight through, then you have this loose yarn in there, and you don't want that. So every once in a while, you would want to double back, because that kind of locks that section of stitches in place. And as you see, this is pretty swift. Working all the way around. And we are coming back around to our beginning. So we are back around at our beginning. Once I get back to my beginning, I kind of just want to do the same thing I just did, which was secure it with a knot. Me, I'm going to do that a couple times. So I'm going to go this way with it. At least twice. And then I'm kind of going to weave in this in while I'm here. Oh, I got to put that back on again, because that wasn't enough weaving for me. But I'm going to weave in this in while I'm already here. And you're not weaving ends. You're just going to go back and forth till you feel comfortable. Actually, it's pretty good, because I've gone through some tight areas and I know it's not coming out. So I'm going to cut my yarn. I'm going to cut all of the other yarns that are on this side now. Is there anything else? And yeah, missing one. Now we're going to turn our stocking on the right side. And as you can see, this is the seam, and it is right here where the heel is. And you can see how now it goes up. I can't wait to get the try on for this one. But we have one more thing. So we have to finish the top. So we're going to do one row. Yeah, we'll work in the seam. I'm going to go, when I place my yarn, I don't want to place it in the treble stitches, so I'm going to go into the doubles, but close to the corner, so really not in the way. And we're just going to put fan stitches on the top of this to give it that lacy look. So I'm going to add my yarn on here. And this is, let me show you this one. This is how I did the last one. I just took and put fan stitches and just space them out along the top. So I'm pretty much going to do the same thing and I guess show you how to make this, because this is adjustable. So for my fan stitch, I'm going to go in the middle of all of my treble crochets, and this is where I'm going to make this. So I'm just going to do 6 double crochets here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and that's just it. And I'm going to use my double crochet to make a single crochet. So in my double crochet area, I'm making a single crochet, and in my treble area, I'm putting 6 fans, 6 double crochets to make a fan. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and find my double crochet area, and I'll put a single crochet. Now back in my treble area, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and over here in the double crochet area, 1 single crochet. And I'm just going to do that all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And single crochet. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Single crochet. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And single crochet into the double area. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to slip stitch into that first single that we made. Cut the yarn and pull through. We'll weave that in. And that's simple. That is how I'm going to do my lacy top. Okay? That's it. So we also want to create our lace almost drawstring portion. So we're just going to make a super long chain. How many we're going to chain, we're going to find out right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, I don't want to go too far. 84. Yeah, we're just going to 100. 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. Gonna cut this a little bit. I am not gonna close this off just in case I did too much. Now I'm going to feed it through. We're going to say we want to find our front end. Okay. I would say here is probably like my absolute front. This one right here. So I want both of, and I'm almost saying that that's not enough. So I'm glad we left that open. So I want both of my pieces to feed out of here. So I am going to just feed this through back and forth. Okay. And through the chain, not the chain, but the double space as well. So I'm going to go weave this in and out. Like I said, through my double space as well. So I'm not going under the, I'm going under the first double. And I'm going through my open space here. And I'm going underneath my double, the first double. And it's really simple to just feed it in, you know. And so you just go up under your double, the first double, and go through your large treble space right up under your fan. And keep going, going around. Don't forget your double spaces. All right, now I'm at my next double space. And going through the treble space. So weave it in back and forth till you get all the way back to your front. And don't worry about making it even then. But just if you've done like I have, you cut off but you didn't end it, don't use that end. Use that, you don't want it to come loose. So we're coming through here. So here we go. So I'm gonna pull, and as you see, it works like a drawstring. You can put elastic. Some people put elastic. I've seen that. That's nice and all. But yeah, this works super cool too. Okay. So it's like a little pouch. So if you need the space, it can just work as simple design. You never have to use this. But say you take and you let it slouch down. Okay, so to more of a leg warmer feel, you want to take it off your knee and slouch it down. You could use your drawstring to keep it in place wherever you want to, and we'll work it on the leg. I'll show you how it work out. Now, I like to make it cute. I want to make a little. There you go. So I was trying to see if I needed to crochet more. I went with 100, just so you know. And I'm able to make a little bow. I'm fine. If you want to be more dramatic, like this one, this is more dramatic. I think I did 150 here. I believe I did 150 here. So these are more It has more swing to it, but this one is a little shorter. So if you like it a little bit more dramatic, just chain more and you'll have more of that effect. Okay? So that is it. This is one whole complete set. I hope you like it. And we are going to try this on our model, and that's it. Okay, so we just finished making the gray stocking. So we did one gray and one this other color, which is burgundy, um, because I made these ones prior to, so I wanted to show off a different color. Can you flex that leg out? Well, and you see we do have the top on there and the little piece right here I showed you, you can make it longer if you want to. Now the burgundy one was done with a 150 length, and the other one was done, I believe, with 100. So can you turn around the back? And as you see, they do perfectly fit to the leg. You see that's the seam in the back, virtually invisible. And because we use the increase decrease row, and you see that it fits just like a regular stocking. So you turn around one more again. Thank you. So can you push one down, so if you wanted the leg warmer feel, they can see how they can kind of slouch that down to make it look like a leg warmer. And with these right here, you can undo the string and just take the bow right out. Just pull one. Yeah, it works just like shoelaces. And tighten it to wherever you want it. And tie it back. So that is the beauty part of the string. If you wanted to lower it and wear it more like a leg warmer, so it can go thigh high, or we can get this lovely little leg warmer look with it. I absolutely adore these. So again, this is universal, so anyone can have these. The foot size is the only thing that I have two different versions of. If you like this video, please like it, subscribe, and see you again on the corner.